Thank you for accepting the interview.
You're welcome. I hope my English will be enough good for you so that you can get all the information you need for your project.
Don't worry, it's called with accent. Good news with accent, because I have an accent as well. So
perfect. So we are going to understand.
Pierre, tell me a little bit about the situation just now in France. What are you allowed, what not? You're in a lockdown still already, no?
Yes. So that's the last day in France of lockdown, because tomorrow we are going to go back to a more normal situation. Not exactly a normal one, but a little bit different than before. And we are going to go on the same. For our own situation, family situation, because I have my wife, and we have two children. We are just going to change some things because our daughter, which is the eldest, she's going to go back to school
tomorrow,
next week
already.
Not tomorrow, on Tuesday, yes, but only one day per week. Only two days per week, and with very small groups. Only 10 pupils per classroom because of the situation. And so we are already.
How old is
she? She is 5.5. 5.5. Yes. Okay. And our second child, Aimé, a boy, he's 2 years old and a half, and he's going to a woman who look after children at home. So we are, so it's I think it's going to be different, but for our job, for instance, we are going to still work at home, because with my wife we are quite lucky. We can work at home with our jobs, and we don't know yet when we are supposed to go back to our office, and still
and when you send your kids now again to school and the kindergarten, what measurements do you have to take? Are they going with mask, or what did they
No, because in France the French Minister of Health explained that before 10 years old it's not possible to make the children wear a mask. They cannot play with, they can work with. It's not the same as for people like adults, So no, she's going to go to school, at school, washing hands very often, and we are just tomorrow we will see on Tuesday morning how it's going to run with the others parents of the school, because there are many classrooms, many pupils. We don't know, but we are going to keep the distance between each other, and we are going to go with our mask, my wife and I, because we think it's better. Even if we are not obliged to do it. We are obliged, I think in France it's only in the public transportation where we are obliged to have masks. But in the public area like that, I think we can go without. But anyway, for us, we will do our best to be on the right way, even if we know that children normally they don't are supposed to communicate the coronavirus, because normally that's only the adults, I think. But anyway,
is it in all France now, or only in your area because you don't have so many infected people?
It depends. That's true. It depends. I know that we have friends in Paris, and in Paris the situation is not at all the same, So I know that many people in Paris, their children are not going to go back tomorrow to school. I speak with the people of the chemistry, and they told me that in the city they were not. They didn't know if we had many cases of coronavirus, it seems not to be so high, and so we are well preserved. And if we are still serious, if we take care, and if we respect the rules, maybe we have a chance to go back to a more normal life, even if we know that it's not going to be the same as before in the following weeks, but in the following months or following years.
I have a question because France was a lot of time or years now in the headlines. You had the terrorism, you had the yellow vest. I'm not sure this virus, does it calm down other parts? And are these parts like calm down, or is it all together? You know what I mean?
Yes, that's true. That we, when we're listening to news or to the radio, TV, watching, it's true that when we read newspapers, because we are used to read and not only to watch TV, but we don't hear nothing about the others topics of the moment. I mean, everything is connected to virus, but there is not any more information about others topics. I mean, everything is stopped. I mean, that's quite that's like it's very strange, very strange situation. At the beginning, people did maybe like before. I mean, we keep on and we go on, and but we feel that day after day it was quite different, because the economic activity, for instance, was not so intense, and many things were going to be stopped step by step. And yes, and that's true that we remark that we don't speak at all about the Syria. We don't speak about immigration. We don't speak anymore about what was happening in Hong Kong with the opposition of students. We don't know. That's like a space without any normality. I mean,
yeah. One question also, because in the beginning, I think because we were seeing it like a little bit jealous from Spain.
Yes.
Macron promised a lot of financial support in the beginning, no, to the French people, and we were thinking, where do they have this money? Where does it come from? Now,
yes.
Will be France able to pay all the promises they say, and suppose they will have an economic impact as well, no, this crisis?
Yeah, in France, they didn't want to make the same mistake like in 2008, I think, during the economic crisis. They wanted to do like in Germany. I think you know very well that they didn't want to stop everything, because if we stop everything, then it's very hard to go to get started and again. And they wanted to protect the employees, the people working, and just to be ready to work hard when it's going to be the time to go back to work. But I don't know where does it come from, this money. I would like to know, because for many months, many in the hospital in France, there were many big strikes because they were requested money to have more staff, to have more material, more everything. And that's true that in France we are lucky with our health system, sécurité sociale. That's something we are very proud of. But that's very strange, because I think it was during the first official of Emmanuel Macron. He told quoi qu'il en coûte, the word in France. It means it could cost many, a lot of, but that's not the matter, So we go on and we do what we have to do to support the people, the economy. So I mean, he told that, he explained that, but I think we spoke with the friends who have companies or restaurants, coffees, different, and that's not so easy to get money, which was promised by the government. Sometimes it's long because it's as well difficult because the people, the employees of the government are not all on their working on as normally, so the time to to study the request of the people and to say, okay, we give money, we don't give it, or it's not so easy to apply and to develop as it was explained by the president. But I think they try to, but it's quite strange. They gave 7 billion of euros to Air France. Without asking Air France to do something for environment, so it's so schizophrenic period, one side we don't have any money, and the other side we have a lot. One side we say we cannot start again like before on normal life, on normal economy. We have to, on the other side we have to be to develop renewable energies. We have to rethink our system, and it's quite strange.
Do you think that now that the conventions and all this will change because the people saw that that you can do some things online, with programs?
I think that's like for the museums, many in France, for instance, I just make a comparison. I try. Many museums in France were not very convinced to put online their collections, photos, pictures of their paintings, sculptures, etc., because they were afraid that people did not come anymore to museums because they can access online to everything. But we know that's not true. For instance, in the Netherlands, they don't have this problem. In Germany as well, many museums, they have online many very good information about their collections, and that's not as if you were in the museums, but almost because of the quality. I think it's the same with the conventions, with the congresses, with the we can do online, but it's not going to replace the human contact in between people. That's a plus. I mean, it can be very helpful for people who are not able to come because of money, because of other reasons. But the people, when I read articles about it, people they are waiting to meet each other during this type of events. But they are still interested to develop on the same part the online events, or the digital part of their events, because that's a new way of exchange. But
because in the convention, maybe the most important things are not spoken in the conventions, but beside, no?
Yes, that's true. That's during dinner, that's during party, that during the coffee breaks. When I speak with the doctors, because in the medical sector, that's the major part of our activity. 30% of our events are organized by doctors or specialists, and they are all waiting for meeting them during this kind of events, because that's they work a lot in the day, and in the evening that's more yes, they have fun, and that's important for them to but we don't know at all if we are going to open before the end of the year. We don't know, because in France, for the events, they at the beginning of the virus, they decided to forbid the event till with more than 500 people, and then it was forbidden for events with gathering more than 100 people, and then everything was forbidden. So maybe they are going to make it in the other sense. I mean, the beginning, only the events with 100 people are going to be allowed, and then events from 100 people to 500, and then from 500 to 1,000. I don't know, but I think they are going to do it step by step. But it's quite strange because during such events, people they need to discuss around a cup of coffee, around the lunchtime, and if they have to keep 1 meter half or 2 meters distance with the other colleagues, or it makes no sense. I think it makes no sense. So we'll see what's going to happen.
So how is it now? Are you organizing it online, or did you stop?
No, we still have in our planning events for the second semester of the year, from October to December. We will see. We hope it's going to be possible, but we don't know exactly if.
And when you plan it, you have to plan it with meters, the seats located and where people or what?
Yes, I'm not working on this part of the organization because I'm more in the development part. But yes, they are working on this. They are working on how to organize the auditorium. Because in auditorium normally, with the new rules, you can only have 1 people, and you have 1 people on the 4 seats around the people should be not occupied. So if you have an auditorium with 1,000 places, in reality you can host only 250 people. So, and that's true for the professional events, but it's true as well for the cultural. For the cinema. That's for the music, for everything. That's the same obligation. So it's not. It's not possible because of economic. When you rent a space for 1,000 people, it costs maybe 10 euros per person. But if you rent it for only 250 people, then it will cost many more. We'll see how we can arrange it, but that's quite.
We have to say that it's much better for the environment if there are not so many conventions.
Yes.
Also, no?
Yes, but I think that we are going to have. For the national events, we are going to go back earlier than for international events. Because in France, it's going to be easier to gather French people or people from Europe, maybe because we are on the same. The restriction. The virus. Well, we have a high quality of research, so it's, and we have the European Union. We can have maybe agreements in between states so that we can travel from one country to another one, but I think it's going to be harder to go or to organize events, international events. European, national events going to go back in the next months. European events maybe in time further, but international, with I don't know at all. We don't know.
Yeah, my last question is: do you see something positive coming out of this complicated situation of the virus?
For personally, or for the?
For you personally and in general.
In general, personally, it gives us more time for our family. That's true. Even if it's not easy, that was not easy every day because of. We were working, my wife and me, every day at home, and we have to look after our children. It was not so. It was intense, but it was okay, and we discover us. It was interesting, and in general, I don't know if we can see something positive, except as I explained you, many signs of solidarity between people, helping them by yes, that was interesting. And all the people, when we go when we went out of our house, just to only 1 kilometer around our house, because it was when we met people walking, everybody was more polite, they say hi, hello, how are you. That's very, very easy, more we get maybe more more contact with people. Maybe it was easier, and just to discuss 5 minutes, but with people we didn't know before, but people were aware, and they were ready just to, because many people, maybe one thing positive was the time we get. A lot of time. We get a lot of time for us. We have time to cook. We have time to play with our children. We have time to go outside to discover our the time, maybe, because we are lucky, because we still have our job with my wife, so we have we maintain our wages. We don't we are in the perfect situation. I mean, we know that's not the same for everybody, so we know that we have this chance. But yes, no, it was good, and we hope that more generally, we hope that it's going to that's maybe the occasion for to be more to just protect everyone for the environment, and just to know that it's really time to do something, not only to speak, but to do.
Okay, so thank you very much.
You're welcome. I hope it was quite okay for you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much, and I hope I wish you good luck for
next
week.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you much. Oh.
Have a nice day.